Lola Estes, here representing herself, speak against the bill.
I'm Lola Estes. I'm here to state my opposition to House Bill 360. Lamar Smith is my representative.
House Bill 60.
60. I've been here since 1 o'clock waiting to say this. I'm an 8th generation Texan. My people came here in 1834. My foremothers are rolling in their graves at your attempt to control my rights. This is my choice to have an abortion if I choose to.
Do me a favor, just dial down just a little bit.
I'm sorry, sir. I get a little overwrought. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
What I'd like to say is that I am 54 years old. Roe versus Wade happened when I was 14. I am blessed to have the freedom of choice my entire reproductive life. That reproductive life is coming to an end, and I will fight for the next generation to have the same choices that I did. I feel that this is unfair, and you do not have the right to restrict choices that the Supreme Court has given us. I would like to say that this is a poorly disguised attempt to limit abortion in this state. I look forward to maintaining the right to choose, not to being a mother. All those women with sad stories who had abortions and regret it, I don't regret it. I am glad I had choice. I never wanted to be a parent. I demand this right for the children, the women that come after me. I've had 2 abortions. I have no shame. I am childless by choice. I demand this right for my sisters that follow behind me. I agree that this does not support a woman's health and provides a burden to rural and poor women in this state. You can achieve a lot less, you can be more successful in achieving less abortions by increasing funding for the Planned Parenthood and for sex education is just woefully inadequate in this state. If you want less abortions, teach the kids how not to get pregnant. Don't restrict our right to choose. I suggest that we spend our energies in educating children, not denying them choices. This is an overreaching, and burdensome law. Health care should be based on science, not on religion. Please vote against this bill and support Texas women's right to choose.
Thank you very much for your testimony. Irma Fernandez, here representing herself to speak against the bill. We'll show Irma Fernandez against the bill, not testifying. Molly Finneran, representing herself against the bill.
Hello, Chair. Hello, committee. Wow, it's exciting. I didn't think I'd get called tonight. My name is Molly Ferran. I'm a Texan, a woman, and a voter, and I do not support this bill. I'm here to represent myself, but also to read to you the story of a woman who couldn't be here tonight. Her name is Robbie Osley. I'm going to read in the first person, so just imagine me slightly older. My name is Robbie Osley. Growing up in Lubbock, Texas, and meeting my husband in 1958 at the young age of 14, I was rather naive and had a fairly narrow perspective of the world. However, over the years, as my hair has turned from blonde to silver, I have learned through my journey with Tom, my husband of 50 years, as well as our 4 grown children and 10 grandchildren, that the complex issues are not solved with simple solutions, which too often trivialize the human dilemmas in our journeys. Our family's faith tradition, the United Methodist Church, also recognizes these human dilemmas, as well as the complexity of the issues of abortion, which is reflected in the Methodist Church's social principles. I quote, "Our belief in the sanctity of the unborn human life makes us reluctant to approve abortion, but we are equally bound to respect the sacredness of life and well-being of the mother, for whom devastating damage may result from an unacceptable pregnancy. In continuity with past Christian teachings, we recognize tragic conflicts of life with life that may justify abortion, and in such cases, we support the legal option of abortion under proper medical procedures. I've also learned that behind every choice is a story. Even though many of those stories can be heart-wrenching, they can also be life-affirming decisions made with the context of a woman's faith. Any definition of a human life or person that neglects the moral reality required to nurture and sustain life after birth is dangerous. The quality of all lives depend on the texture of concern and our very human, very moral readiness to provide for the children we choose to bring into the world. I strongly contend that the woman, hopefully with the advice of her doctor and support of her family, is the person who ultimately makes the decision to terminate a pregnancy, not her government, not some judges, not some religious leaders, but her. I do not doubt that women of my economic status will always have access to quality and safe abortion care. However, all women have not been blessed with my level of economic resources or that your mother's wives or that of your mother's wives and daughters. Because the legislation before you will continue to chip away at access to abortion care, I am concerned that a dangerous environment will be created in which women with limited resources will once again resort to unsafe options to terminate their pregnancies. I urge you to engage in a dialogue and make choices today that are not divisive, but rather are filled with compassion, understanding that will ensure healthier outcomes for women in Texas, thereby strengthening our families as well as our communities. Thank you.
Thank you. Irma Fernandez, here representing herself against the bill.
Hi, I'm not sure if you can see me, but I hope you can hear me.
We can do both.
My name is Irma Fernandez. I am against House Bill 60. I represent myself and a friend who can't be here today named Celia Morgan, and I live in District 33. I have never been in the position where I would have to make the decision to have an abortion. I hope I am never in that position. But I'm here to tell the story of someone who was in that situation but couldn't be here today. This is the story of my friend Celia Morgan. My name is Celia, and I have many roles in my hometown of Arlington, Texas. I'm a manager, a student, a political activist, a friend, a daughter, a sister, but most importantly, I am a mother. My daughter is the most important part of everything I do. It was the week before my 25th birthday when I found out I was pregnant. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't have it. I was jobless, single, and I had just moved back home after having nowhere else to go. I had no way to support myself. I couldn't possibly support a child. My mother helped make me an appointment, paid for the visit, and went with me to the clinic closest to home. I remember pulling into the parking lot to a family with signs outside, yelling hateful things. I was nervous and scared. I sat through the ultrasound quietly and went back to wait for a counselor before they would proceed. In that waiting room 7 hours, I cried. I met with my counselor and made a return appointment for the procedure. I left that day heavy. I couldn't speak about it. Only my mother knew. When we loaded up for the clinic so that I could have my appointment, I cried the entire way there. Everything inside of me screamed I had another choice, and I listened. I chose to listen to my heart, and I was right. You're probably hearing the story now and thinking that it aligns more with the reason to rid abortion, but you are wrong. It's the reason to keep it safe and legal. Without that clinic, I knew nothing. Without the counselor at Planned Parenthood, I hadn't talked about what I wanted. This is a pro-life story, but it was born out of a story of choice. Being pro-life is being pro-choice. You cannot fathom the amount of faith involved in that choice. Only faith has the power to influence the decisions of creating life. Her daughter is the reason that she continues to fight for the choices that women make today. There are many men in the state of Texas who are trying to force women to become mothers, to make decisions that they don't want to make or can't make. Not every story is successful like Celia's. She is really lucky. She's had a great family and a great community around her. She's a good person and a good mother, and one day she's going to make a great politician and join you guys up here. She's a single mom, but she's not alone, and that's why she's able to succeed. For me, personally, I have been told that I am too young and inexperienced for jobs because I'm 22 years old and I'm straight out of college. I've been told that I need to show more documentation because of my skin color and my heritage. And now, because I am a woman, I am obviously too stupid to make my own choices. Trust me, trust us, trust women. And by the way, I want to be a mother too, just not at age 22. Thank you.
Very much for your testimony. Frances Chin, here representing herself to speak against the bill.
My name is Frances Chen, representing myself, and I am against HB 60. I'm a constituent of Representative Michael McCall. Respecting the sanctity of life begins with and requires respecting the women who are faced with the heavy decision of what to do next. This bill aims to protect women's lives, and that's something I think we can all agree is a good thing. However, by reducing the tens of clinics who currently perform legal, regulated abortions to only 5 across Texas, a large state that's actually larger than quite a few countries across the world, would do the opposite. As many have already said before me, no one really knows a particular woman's circumstances, whether those be her economic means, her emotional support, and just any number of circumstances at all. And women who no longer, women who are not able to access abortion legally through this bill would still want abortions because of those circumstances. And so they would instead turn to desperate measures. Imagine being a rape victim several hours away from a legal abortion clinic. And maybe she can't afford the gas required to travel to that clinic, and maybe she doesn't have any sort of support in her community to be able to bring her there. She would perhaps turn to a self-induced abortion. A recent study conducted by the University of California Irvine School of Medicine reported that 40% of self-induced abortions occur in the ages of 15 to 24. At that age, you're supposed to be wondering at all the things you can do in life, not turning towards some action that could either kill yourself, or if it doesn't kill you, and it doesn't succeed in rendering the fetus non-viable, could leave the fetus severely damaged, and you would still have to carry that to term. So by passing HB 60, you're severely limiting everything that women who currently are actually able to move on with their lives after facing an extremely difficult decision can do. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your testimony. Patrick Collins, here representing himself, speaking against the bill. Patrick Collins, against the bill on testimony. William Conway, representing himself against the bill. We'll show William against the bill not testifying. Elizabeth Casalino, representing herself against the bill. We'll show her against the bill not testifying. Geneva Crowley. Against the bill, not testifying.